This is utterly game changing. I am using Lossless Scaling's new adaptive frame generation. It's a whole new frame generation made by the solo developer who's made Lossless Scaling. It's a program that allows multi-frame gen, or now adaptive frame gen, in any game on pretty much any GPU. Now, in traditional frame generation, you always lock your FPS. So for 60 FPS, it locks your real frames to 30 FPS. For 120 FPS, it locks your real frames to 60 FPS. But adaptive frame generation basically allows your real FPS to run at any rate, and you'll set a fixed frame rate for the max frame rate, and it just fills in. So if you get 50 FPS and you're targeting 60 FPS, it only makes 10 fake frames, or 10 generated frames. You can now have 120 FPS, and instead of locking your frame rate to 60 FPS, when you were getting 90 FPS for example, you can now run that full 90 FPS with all of that latency and only fill in the 30 extra frames needed. This is a game changer. This kills other frame generation methods. Perhaps it's even better now than DLSS frame generation, FSR frame generation, because the latency is going to be better. It's going to be less quality loss. This is just utterly mental that this guy, the solo developer, for a £5 or $5 program on Steam. So anyway, I'm now going to try it out on ANNO, which I've injected frame ray tracing into. This is my ray tracing profile, as you can see, on and off. But as you can see here, I might have to move my logo, sorry. I was recording gameplay earlier. This literally released today or yesterday. Okay, let me just get back into the game. So now you can see I'm getting 34 to 60, 35 to 60. This should be locked to 30, but I'm getting the 5 extra frames now to get to 60. It just fills in the blanks, and the quality is absolutely amazing. The latency is better. Let me turn off my ray tracing one moment. Now you can see I'm getting 45 FPS, but it's being converted to 60. Instead of being locked to 30 to get to 60, we are getting 45 FPS. The latency is so much better, and the quality, there's less quality loss because there's less fake frames to get to this 60 FPS. This is incredible. This changes so much. And especially for like my ray tracing mods for high resolutions like 4K, which is what we're in at right now. I mean, think about it. So let's say you're playing a game and sometimes there's explosions or something, or you're running a game at 60 FPS, right? There's some explosions that usually brings your FPS down to 50. Well, this will fill in the 10 frames, so you won't get slowdown in games anymore. It'll produce those 10 frames for you to always hit that 60 mark. To always be smooth. This is absolutely incredible, and I suggest everyone check out Lossless Scaling. Because one, you can record it in OBS without a capture card, which you can't do with other frame generation solutions, which is what I'm doing right now to show you this. You can use it with my ray tracing and reshade, which is brilliant. And just, this is incredible. Such a big step forward in PC gaming from this guy. I mean, this is crazy. Anyway, I'm going to have an ANNO playthrough, as you can see. I've been playing it. I've been recording my little walkthrough for the campaign and to show off the ray tracing that I've added. It does actually look really good. I've got some better examples than what you can see now. And yeah, I've got shader exclusions and everything, so the UI is completely untouched. Oh my god, this is so cool. Anyway, I'll have a full playthrough of ANNO in 4K. I was using multi-frame gen before to get to 120 FPS, but usually my frame rate would be like 34, what it is now, do you know what I mean? But now I can just do 60 FPS and have better quality and higher latency, because it will run at the maximum amount of frames that I can possibly get, and it looks super smooth. Absolutely excellent. Anyway, this is just a short video to show it off really, and yeah, catch you around. Check out my Patreon if you want some ray tracing presets. I have about 100 games supported now. Anyway, catch you later.